Hey Joe. So I'm sorry it's taken me so long to post. I've been super busy the past week or so. Haven't really had a whole lot of time to make a video, but I'm doing it now, so we're good. You're gonna have to bear with me through this video too because I'm kind of coming down with a little bit of a cold. So if I sound stuffy the entire video, I'm sorry if that's annoying, but you're just gonna have to get through it. As you can see, it's a nice and sunny day here in Ohio, despite the snow that we're getting after having upwards of 60 and 70 degree weather for a while there, so it's always fun living in Ohio. You remember what that's like? So in today's video, I'm going to do things a little bit different. Obviously, I'm not sitting in my car, so we have a different setting, which is nice. But I'm going to be making a video about something that's sort of been a limiting factor to me in the gym, as far as what I'm capable of and what I do to get around it, or what I do to kind of compensate for the issue. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on, and then I'm going to show you what I do to fix it. So basically what the issue is I have a mobility issue in my ankles. What that means is when I'm doing exercises, when I go to squat, when I bend my knees and come down, I cannot get into a deep squat. Not without coming onto my tiptoes anyways. So when I come down to squat, it looks a lot like this. See how my heels come up and I'm resting on my toes? That's not good squat form. And I don't ever lift, and no one else should ever lift like that too, especially when you're doing weighted squats. You do not come up on your toes. As you know, Joe, you keep weight on the heels. So why do I have this issue? Why can't I get down into a deep squat? Why can't I just kind of sit back like I should be able to do? Well, most people would say, well, Devin, you have a mobility issue. You just need to stretch the soft tissue in your calf. That way you can come forward. That way you can bend your ankle forward. So that makes sense. You have two muscles in your calf, the gastrocnemius and the soleus muscle. When you stretch with a straight leg, you're getting a good gastroc stretch, and when you're stretching with a bent leg, you're getting a good soleus stretch. So a lot of people will say you need to stretch with a bent leg. That way you can stretch that soleus out, get those heel cords stretched out, and then you're going to be able to get back into that deep squat. And I would say most of the time that's right. You do need to do that. However, in my case, I actually have a bony blockage. See, there's a place in your ankle, and I'm going to kind of get down and show you here, where the talus, which is, this isn't the talus, the tibia, which is this long bone that makes up your shin, the front of your shin, and the talus, which is a bone that is kind of like right here in the front of the ankle, meet. And where those two where those two bones meet, when you move forward, the talus is supposed to kind of glide back and get out of the way for the tibia so that the ankle can go into a good dorsiflex position. And dorsiflex basically just means that you're lifting your foot like this. This is dorsiflexion of the foot. So when you have a bony blockage in this area, it's being caused by one of two things. One, either your talus lacks posterior glide, basically meaning it won't glide back, or there's a bone spur or some kind of extra piece of bone that's blocking it and getting jammed, and the tibia and the talus are getting jammed into each other when you're trying to bend that foot forward. So if it's just a problem where the talus isn't gliding back, you can do distraction techniques, which basically means you can kind of band that talus to pull it back and kind of just bend forward. And with I'm trying to show you here, you can kind of wrap something around this area right here to push that talus back while you bend forward to get more mobility that way. But unfortunately, if you have an extra piece of bone or a bone spur, that's not going to work. The only way to fix that is surgery. And in my case, that's the issue. So it's really sad. It's really gotten me down at times because I want to be able to get into that deep squat. I wish that I could just get into that natural toddler squat position, which is the way a human is supposed to sit, and is a natural position for a human. But either I was put together in a weird way, or because of moving poorly in the past when I wasn't aware of proper mobility, I could have caused the issue myself. Regardless, I'm not really sure what caused it. All I know is that now it's an issue, and I need to live with it, and I had to figure out ways to get around it in order to still be able to have strong lifts and do them with proper form, because obviously I'm not going to do squats where I have to come up on my toes just because of a mobility issue, because your toes were not made to hold that weight. Your body weight squats are bad enough, but particularly weighted squats on your toes, bad idea. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my basement and kind of show you what I do to get around it. Okay, so I know this is kind of a shitty camera angle, but bear with me, I don't have very much equipment to work with. I currently have my camera mount attached to a microphone stand to my basement, but hey, it works. Okay, so first I'm going to show you what it looks like for me to do a body weight squat without any assistance, just to kind of see what it looks like. So since my knees don't come far enough forward, I need to provide a lot of counterbalance in front, because if not, I'm just going to come here and I'm on my toes. So in order to get down to the squat, I have to have counterbalance out here. So as you can see, not too bad. My back is still straight. I believe my neck is behind my knees where it should be. I can keep neck neutral, but I have my counterbalance out front. Problem here is that if I'm doing weighted squats where the weight is back here and I'm trying to keep my weight on my heels without coming forward, when my hands are like this and I have a bar here that I'll show you in a second, I'm going to fall back, and that's not good. We don't want that to happen. And as a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and show you what that looks like with a barbell, because it's ugly. So have my bar here, go down into the squat. Right now, where I am right here, I feel bone hitting bone on both ankles. Bone is hitting bone for sure on both ankles. So when I come down, my knees can't come any far forward, so I'm just bending forward. And this is bad squat position. Look how far forward it is, look how far my head is forward. It's not pretty. So what do we do about this? How do we fix it? Well, what I do is when I'm at the gym, I'll get two 25-pound weight plates and put them side by side, bring my heels back, put them on the weight plates, boom, squat, no problem. Weight is on the heels, knees are able to be pushed out to create torsion in the hip, and I'm completely comfortable. So, is it compensating? Yes, but it's proper form, and it's the only way I can do it, because squats are one of the most important exercises and I don't want to miss out. So I'll show you with the barbell. The barbell, bring it back. And obviously, most of the time I'll be wearing shoes, so it doesn't hurt when I'm stepping on the plates. But step back on the plates, come down. I can even get below 90 if I so feel like it. Come back up. Down, come back up. So it's the best way that I've found to compensate for it. I know that you can get weightlifting shoes, but for the amount of mobility I lack, I am hesitant about investing money in the shoes when I think the highest lift in shoes that I found is about an inch and a quarter. And I know that from plates I can get about an inch and a half of lift, of heel lift, to compensate for the lack of mobility that I have in my ankles. So that's kind of a general overview of what's going on and how I get around it. I hope if anyone else has this issue that this helps. But yeah, it's frustrating, but you kind of have to play with the hand you're dealt and just kind of go with the flow. All right, Joe, well, I think I'm gonna call it a day for now. What I want to hear about in your next video is if you have any limitations yourself in the gym. If you have any, whether it be mobility or even mental, if you have any limitations that you feel like hold you back and what you do to get around them. And if not, well then fuck you, because you're just perfect, aren't you? No, I'm just kidding. Alright man, I'm looking forward to watching your next video. I'll talk to you soon.